Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of The Darkest Files. Now, if you're just now joining us, what we did last time is we interviewed our first suspect, read a lot of random documents, and went through his whole testimony and nitpicked and took our answer to the very first part, I guess, of the 5-part question sequence that we're looking to answer in order to take this cold case to court. And we successfully put everything together for that first question. Now, what the plan is for today is to move on to the second question. I think we're going to interview somebody new. And I'm not sure exactly what else besides interviewing somebody else is going to happen in this next part, so we'll just kind of have to see. But I also am going to post all the links to support the game and their social medias in the chat, and when I post this on YouTube later, in the comments below. But I'm going to go ahead and pin it so everybody can see it. There we go. Okay, now everything is pinned. Everybody can play the game if they'd like to. It's on Steam. The demo is out now. Go download the demo. It's a ton of fun. Alright, now we're continuing with the story. Ooh, okay. A new lead has been added to the notebook. Now, before we go interview the second person, I am actually going to go back and read about them a little first, unlike I did with the first guy, Kibitz, or something. So, let's see here. Let's look at our notebook. Invite a new witness. Okay, so that should mean that we have to talk to Paula. Is that your name? She should have some documents for me, if I remember correctly.
Miss Katz, how can I help you?
Oh, unless you already gave me the documents. I asked you for documents. I do remember that. Let's see here.
I need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out to?
Shit. Okay, let's talk to him.
Please invite Mr. Schickert next.
We'll reach out immediately. Oh, and there was a letter for you. I left it on your desk.
Wonderful. Thank you, Paula. You deserve a raise. Alright. Let's see here. Check the good old notebook. Read the letter. That's it. Perfect. Okay, this is my office. Okay. So, this must be the letter. Let's take a peek. Oh boy! We're being threatened! Okay. Let's read this. Okay. Jewish pig. We know where you live. We know what you do. We are watching, day and night. We see you. The German people have been through enough because of vermin like you. You should have burned with the rest of your kind. And instead of disappearing, hiding in the gutters where you belong, you once again attacked us. So hear us. You will burn. We will finish what we started, beginning with traitor trash like you. Aw. I mean, they took the time to write such a wonderful note, and they even added little drawings on it too. They could have at least, I don't know, signed it, especially if they're bold enough to, you know, write all this down and make these threats. Wouldn't they want to be known? If I'm such a traitor. Hello?
This is Esther Katz.
Unknown.
Hello?
Whatever Kiebitz told you,
Kiebitz.
don't believe it. It's all a lie.
I know it's a lie. I'm well aware it's a lie. I'm the world's greatest detective.
Back then, everyone was an ardent Nazi. Now they all claim to have resisted, doubted, hesitated, to have said no. Trouble is, somebody must have said yes. But who tells the truth?
What? Are you kidding me? That's it? Well, shit. Okay, well that kind of defeats the purpose of this. I've literally only been playing for 10 minutes, but... Okay, well, then in that case, we'll do... we'll do the demo of Investigator Mode. Shit, I already set aside the time for this. My god, alright. Let's go back to the main menu then. And we'll start a new save file, but we'll do Investigator Mode. I thought there was more. Shit, okay. Let's start a new save file then. Yeah. Okay, that's right. I have to read this. The events in our game are based on true crimes committed during the Nazi era and were investigated in the young Federal Republic of Germany. With the exception of Fritz Bauer, the names of all those involved have been changed. Any similarities with existing persons of the same name are purely coincidental. This one should move a little faster.
West Germany, 1956. 11 years after the end of World War II, many crimes of the Nazi era still go unpunished. The perpetrators of these crimes are walking free. Many judges, prosecutors, and police officers have already served under the Nazis. Now they have no interest in prosecuting their former comrades for actions similar to their own. For the victims of these crimes, this is unbearable. To end this, Attorney General Fritz Bauer establishes a special unit of young prosecutors with no ties to the old regime. I am Esther Katz. I am one of these prosecutors. We are investigating Nazi crimes and bringing perpetrators to justice. Not to avenge, not to heal, but to show that there are laws that apply to all. It doesn't make us popular. Most want to forget. Some want us to shut up. But they cannot stop us. Nothing belongs to the past. Everything is still present and can become the future again. Previously on The Darkest Files.
Miss Katz, welcome to the front line. I believe I have the perfect case for you to start with. Hans Naumann, an older gentleman, shot just before the end of the war. According to the victim's wife, her husband was taken by a uniformed man for no reason. I suggest you invite the widow to give a statement.
Mrs. Naumann just arrived. I showed her to the conference room.
I know it's not easy, but please take me through the day your husband was taken.
It was in April 45, only days before the Americans came. Hans was upstairs when the doorbell rang. There were two men. Hans came down and asked them what they wanted. Then everything happened so fast. The small one said they'd let him go if our son would turn himself in. Then they just herded him out, like an animal. This was the last time I saw him alive. Hans was innocent. They killed him, and that's murder. No matter what they call it. Please, Miss Katz, will you find the man?
Paula, I need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out to?
Please invite Mr. Kiebitz.
I do kind of wish we could talk to somebody else besides Mr. Kiebitz. The first suspect, October 11th, 1956. I don't need to do the tutorials since I did that last time. But it is really nice down here. We'll still
Looks more like somebody's home than a prosecutor's office.
click on everything that we can down here. We can sit in this chair, look at the nice cafe across the street. And she has something to say about the archive.
Archive? Not where I should be now.
Yeah.
Good morning, Miss Katz.
Paula? How are you? Okay, there shouldn't be too much of a difference between the start of Investigator Mode and the start of Story Mode. I wonder if there's a difference at all, honestly. Restroom?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I missed that one last time. It's funny.
Not the cleanest of places.
Yep.
Does it just go all day long?
I mean, you say that, but I can't hear any music. So, it's all in your head. Oh yes, and then there's, I mean, these newspapers may have more of a, I guess, importance with Investigator Mode, but it didn't mean diddly squat in the last one. So I'm just going to put it back for now. This is Mr. Peter's office, because his nameplate fell on the floor. He's also a bit of a dick. Conference room. Up.
The door is locked.
Oh, I shouldn't go in there anyway. He should be out sick.
The door is locked.
Oh, thank you. Check my inbox. I need to talk to her first.
Miss Katz, is there anything I can do for you?
That one.
Paula, any new files for me?
I left them on your desk, Miss Katz.
Thank you.
Yesterday's transcript is also attached. If you could please read it to see if everything is correct.
I don't remember her saying anything about transcript. Oh, transcript probably from the conversation with Mrs. Nauman.
Did anybody call me while I wasn't here?
Oh, and there was a call for you. Asked for you to call back. I wrote down the number, left it with the files. I'm afraid he didn't give a name. An older man, I'd say. Sounded very proper, even if he did ignore my questions.
She still sounds a bit quiet. I turned the character audio, or the dialogue sound all the way back up. Because I had turned it down last time. I could barely hear them.
That will be all for now. Thank you, Paula.
Always happy to help.
I know, and you're fantastic. I appreciate you. And your adorable little cat. Okay, I don't think there's anything else that I can interact with out here, so let's go in my office. This is a beautiful office. Let's see. The guy who called ends up being my dad, and he really just wants to shame me. The first witness will come in later today. I added some documents to your case file, and there is a man calling for you. He left a number. Unfortunately, he hung up before I could get his name. Please ask if you need anything else. Paula. New tutorial available. I don't need it, but thank you. But I think a new thingy has been added. Meet with Mr. Bauer. Interrogate the first suspect as soon as he's here. Read new documents in case file. Call the number. I wonder if... Ah, yes. Same newspaper as last time. Oh.
Miss Katz, Mr. Bauer wants to talk to you.
Oh, any idea why?
I am sure he just wants to hear the latest update from you. He also said he wants to make sure you are properly prepared.
Properly prepared? What does he mean by that?
I have a hunch, but it's best to ask him that yourself.
Thank you, Paula. I'll be joining him in a minute.
Yep, he asks us a couple questions about the case. I do want to see if there are any new files in the police report and everything else with investigator mode, if Paula gives us more than what you get in the story mode. And these will be left up here long enough so if you come back through here, you can like pause it and read it through yourself. But since I have already read through them in the previous playthrough of story mode, I'm not going to sit here and read back through them again. At least not as in depth as I did before. If I do read through something again, it'll just to as a refresher. But any hoodles. Okay, all this stuff looks exactly the same. Same goes for these. Add bookmark, oh, I can add a label. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, let's play with this, because I didn't know that you could interact more with these documents. Okay, so I know this is important. And we'll add a little sticky note here. Let's see. Okay, so we'll have this, and we'll place that there, and we'll also mark that one. So that one will come in handy. Traders for country of resistance. Where's the other piece of paper that I am looking for? Ah, this one. Put that there, and 3. Well, actually, no, 2. Okay, so we should have our, yep, we can access the case file there. The only person that we would call would be our papa back, and I'm not too eager to hear him say that he's proud of us, but yet still wants to tell us what to do. Okay, let's go talk to our boss.
Hello, Miss Kuntz. Any news regarding the Naumann case?
This time I'll say surprising ones.
And quite surprising ones. As it turns out, he wasn't even supposed to be arrested. The men were looking for his son, Jan Naumann. When they couldn't find Jan, they took Hans instead, the father.
I assume that's what Miss Naumann told you. But are you sure she is telling the truth?
According to the files, the man they were looking for had climbed up a flagpole, torn down a flag, and beaten up a block warden when he was caught in the act. Hans Naumann was 77 years old at the time. Of course, there are older men who are in good shape, but
Pulling down a flag and beating someone up seems unlikely. I understand.
yes.
I see, but why did the man take him if they knew he was innocent?
That's a solid question. I was right last time. They were...
According to Mrs. Naumann, they took him as a hostage. They were hoping his son, Jan, would surrender once he learned that they had his father.
Highly illegal, even back then. Not uncommon, though. But why did they shoot the old man?
My guess is to save face. We're still not quite sure if the district leader who ordered the execution actually knew it was Jan that was brought in. We're not even sure he saw the person who was brought in. So, seems like they're just trying to, like, finish up some loose ends, but we're not sure yet.
That I don't know yet. But I believe this is definitely a case for us.
It is indeed. We need witnesses.
I'd start
Can
with
I
the
get a
names mentioned in the
witness?
files of the first investigation. I've already invited Hermann Kiebitz to join me later this afternoon.
Excellent. Let's get this case to court, Miss Cutts. And be mindful of time. We do not have nearly enough of it here. Once you hear from all witnesses, we need to move to court quickly. Since you have never led a case before, I want you to be prepared. Mr. Peters has agreed to look over your shoulder
Mr.
and help you
Peters.
out. Present your findings, prove your claims. It will help you to familiarize yourself with the ins and outs of court. We cannot afford to fail at court, and preparation is the key to success.
I'll do what I can.
A new task has been added to my notebook. Whoop. Alright. Interrogate the first suspect as soon as he is here. And meet Mr. Peters. Call back the number Paula noted. I think we meet Mr. Peters first before Kiebitz gets here. But I don't think we get any information from calling our dad back. He's the one who left a message saying that he called but didn't say it was him. I mean, it says, do you know what they've been saying about him? And it has to do with this newspaper. I don't think it's relevant. So, if you want to listen to the call, then watch my previous playthrough. But I think for the sake of this one, I'm gonna skip it. So I guess let's go meet Mr. Peters. Knock, knock, bitch.
What?
Hello?
And hello to you too.
Right. Sorry.
Mr. Bauer told me we should work together.
Right. The court preparations. Paula has already given me the protocols of yesterday's interrogation. I haven't got around to reading it yet. But there is no point discussing it before you've met the witnesses anyway.
Peters,
Cards?
Peters.
thank you for thinking I'm a total beginner.
Oh, you're welcome. Someone has to do it, since Mr. Bauer apparently overestimates your abilities.
Dick.
While we're at it, don't forget to bring some evidence. I don't want us to improvise the whole thing.
That's obvious, Peters.
Peters.
As soon as you think you're ready, come by and we'll get it over with. What does she want now?
So mean.
Yes, Paula.
Excuse me, Mr. Peters, but I have a message for Miss Katz.
I'm listening, Paula.
The witness you asked me to contact, Hermann Kiebitz, just arrived.
I did not say how was he last time, so I don't know how that will change Mr. Peters' opinion of us. I just said thank you, Paula, since I didn't like Mr. Peters. But let's go with the answer I didn't choose.
What was your impression of him?
Ordinary man. A
bit, how do I say this best without seeming unprofessional?
A douche.
If you two could stop chatting, some of us need to get back to work.
Oh, shut up.
Unpleasant. I think that's the right word. Unpleasant.
Thank you, Mr. Peters, for giving Paula the right word to describe Kibitz.
Thank you, Paula. I'll be right with him.
Great. All right. Now, I don't think you have anything else for me.
The witness you asked me to contact, Hermann Kiebitz, just arrived.
Okay, so you don't have anything else for me. So, let's see, I've already... Yeah, I've already done everything in preparation to start this interrogation. So let's just get on with it.
Good morning. My name is Esther Katz.
A pleasure, miss. Could you tell me how long I have to wait for the prosecutor?
Mr. Kiebitz, I'm the prosecutor here.
Oh, modern times, I guess. How long will this take?
Oh, as long as I damn well see fit, my misogynistic prick of a friend. Alrighty, as long as it needs to, douche.
It will take as long as it takes.
It's all right, miss. I'm just asking.
Let's
No,
get
you're
started,
not.
shall we? This is about the arrest of Hans Naumann in Munich on April 28th, 1945. According to a witness, 2 men picked up Mr. Naumann from his apartment. Were you one of them?
You're pretty. You know that?
Mr. Kiebitz, were you one of those men?
Barf.
No, I wasn't. We drove to the house. Then our group leader and Mr. Schickert got out of the car to arrest the man.
That's not what the mom said.
Then they tossed the old man into the car and headed to the district office.
The district office. Where was it located?
We just had moved it into the basement of an old brewery, still stuffed with beer bottles and barrels. District Leader Schwartz came out and gave the command.
The HUD shows your current goal and the names of people present in memories. In this case, go to your office and inspect the files. To enable HUD, press RIB, which is just this one. Interrogate. Yep. Alright. I shouldn't be able to interact with anything else except for this.
What command?
He
What
must
did
be
he say?
executed.
He ordered us to execute the man. Then he left. I felt uneasy. This wasn't right.
Yeah, okay. You're a liar, liar, pants on fire. That's what you are. Okay. I know we got some additional information. Stuff that is highlighted in teal is additional information that we don't need to get through just the interview. So we ask questions that aren't necessarily related, but it gives us more of an insight around our surroundings within the within Kiebitz's testimony.
Why did you relocate the office?
Because of a big air raid. We wanted to be underground. We also would be safer.
What were your local group's responsibilities in the very last days of the war?
We were responsible for all concerns and for many households within Munich. Above all, we tried to eliminate insurgencies.
Goody gumdrops?
Were there any other prisoners at that time?
Obviously, yes. We had to put the traitors somewhere. We adapted part of the storage rooms as cells.
Yep.
Were summary executions common?
In those days, yes.
With the district office being a brewery, you helped yourself to the stocks?
Of course not. How could you assume something like that? We may have had a drink or two, but never on duty.
Regardless, you still had a drink or two. think that's everything within distance.
We followed group leader Falkman to the cell. There was tension.
Wonderful. Okay, let's see. This one.
I can still hear the sirens in my head. They seem to last forever. But it may just have been a minute full of despair. If you survived it. This must be the cell. Was your local group in contact with other local groups?
Just in Bavaria, there were 28 local groups. We were in constant contact with them.
Great.
How did you ensure the energy supply?
The district struggled to produce enough energy. There were frequent power failures. For emergency, we had a generator. If worst came to worst, we used oil lamps.
They must have had petrol to run the generator, or to destroy evidence.
I still don't think starting a fire in an enclosed space with only one, entrance and exit is a very smart idea. Okay, I think I have everything outside of the cell.
We all entered the cell.
Could you describe the cell?
Very basic. Mattress, window, chair.
What was Mr. Falkman doing?
Group leader Falkman seemed to hesitate. He shared my concerns about killing the old sod. He told us to wait.
A new lead. Oh, I think that was... I don't think that was... any hoodles.
Yet Schickert insisted. He referred to that new order about dealing with insurgents. He was such a stickler for the rules. He could be really annoying about these things.
What did he say?
He insisted that any delay would constitute treason.
And treason must be reported, he said. The refusal to obey orders would be of interest for the Gestapo. Faced with this open threat of being denounced, we did not dare to act.
Oh, it is to the notebook. Okay, I guess I keep leads somewhere else. Let's see.
Were the compartments prepared to host prisoners?
Kind of. We adjusted them, so our prisoner could stay there for interrogations and not get out.
Wonderful. Let me see where I put the leads. Leads to follow. Ah, okay. So these leads are the questions that we ask and that we put together for the trial.
For how long were the prisoners held in these cells?
Mostly around a week.
Okay, nothing special about that bucket.
The tension was strong. Group leader Falkman ordered us to wait once more. But Schickert drew his gun and shot him.
What weapons did the people present have? Standard issue equipment?
We could wish. Those were the last days. We had almost nothing left. Rifles, pistols, ammunition. We had to use whatever was somehow left, or what we managed to get out of the woods.
Interesting. I should ask Paula if she can find any information about this.
Yep. Okay, we're chugging along pretty good. Let's see. Yep, the door is one of them. Yeah, going inside the office, you get
I think I'm still missing something.
a lot of information from in here.
How did Mr. Schwarz's office look like?
Quite fancy given the circumstances. Leather chair, massive oak desk. District Leader Schwarz cared about showing off.
Well, if he cared, it does not show. Because that's a regular ass chair with a normal sized desk. Okay, I don't think there was anything else. Medals, Hitler. And... oh, yes.
Was Mr. Schwarz involved in the execution?
He gave the orders, but the members of the local group were responsible for carrying them out. Surely you can't expect a busy man like the district leader to attend every execution in person.
There was no execution order in the files I got. If it exists, I should check if I can get my hands on it.
So far, everything is exactly the same as it was in story mode. I wonder if there actually is a discernible difference between the two options on the demo.
What were Mr. Schwarz's responsibilities as a district leader?
He was responsible for organizing relief measures for the party during air raids, coordinating local groups, providing food and emergency quarters. He had also found the brewery for us and organized the move.
How was your relationship to Mr. Schwarz?
He treated me fairly and friendly. I learned a lot from him.
How was working under Mr. Fartman?
Mr. Fartman.
Great. He was a good leader and a better man. It was a pleasure to work with him. Even though some people might have disagreed, we had our share of malcontents in the group.
Okay, so...
But he knew how to deal with them effectively.
Interesting. I should ask Paula if she can find any information about this.
okay, so the sound getting quieter during certain parts of the dialogue was not because of my settings. That is just kind of an unfortunate thing from the game itself right now. So I apologize for the weird sound or the weird dialogue volume in certain sections.
What were your responsibilities in your local group?
Most of
This
the
is
time
important.
I accompanied District Leader Schwarz and drove him when he needed a driver.
Driver.
He knew how to convey power and discipline.
Yep, I know that's important, and I don't know why we don't write it down. Unless we do. Let's see. I should look into the district hierarchy. Interesting. I don't think I actually looked at the lead section the first time I went through. Okay, that's father. Okay, I guess I don't have strict notes on the people that we are interviewing. At least... well, we might, eventually.
How did you and Mr. Schickert get along?
He and I didn't have much to do with each other. We were just part of the same local group. He was no feast for the eyes, a cranky guy. Strange. Always strict with his work, but annoying from time to time. He was obsessed with Prussian virtues.
Okay, I know there's 20 little bits of information. Search for clues or leave the memory. I guess that is what's different, is that with the story mode it tells me how many different clues that there are to find, optional teal options. And it completely, I guess, caps out once I've found them all. But with Investigator mode, it does not tell me how many that there are to find. It's, I guess, just up to me to find them. But so far, it feels like the exact same sort of story, obviously, with the exact same paperwork. There's nothing different as far as the information that we have in the case file. Unless, by the time I walk out of here, it will add some new documents to my case file. That would be nice. Because the testimony that he gives us, it just kind of like pulls out the information from like the main yellow points along the way. And it did not at all include any of the bonus information that he mentions when you click on the teal items. So I don't know if that's a fault of the game itself right now, or if it's just not necessary for you to have that information in the story mode. But only one way to find out is to go through the smoky door.
So what you are saying is, Schickert shot the old man against Mr. Feldman's order?
Exactly.
That's horrible.
These are brutal events you're getting to hear here. Are you sure you're up for it? Honestly, no one would think this is a job for a woman. What do you have to prove? I will file a formal complaint.
I said a complaint before, but I'll just say don't bother because he's a complete douchebag and I don't like him very much.
That will not be necessary, Mr. Kiebitz. My superior knows quite well that I am up for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this job.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Kiebitz.
Now get the fuck out.
Goodbye, Miss Katz.
Your kind isn't welcome here. New documents available. Yes! Oh, that's exciting. Hold on. Wait a minute. You can wait just a minute. Where are they? Ooh, oh, I got excited prematurely, I think, because I know the new documents are available. It's strictly just his testimony, which, as you can see here, is just the basic. Darn it! I got excited for nothing. None of this is stuff that we didn't have in the story mode. Damn it. That makes me sad. What does my notebook say? After the mock trial, ask Paula to look into the local group equipment. Ask Paula to look for Schwar's order. Ask Paula to look... I'm not going to look... No. I am going to talk to Paula.
If you have a moment, I have something for you.
Thank you. I also have some documents I wish for you to pull.
So, I've done some digging beforehand.
Yes?
And found something potentially useful for you. The brewery's blueprint.
Thank you.
I put it in your office on the corkboard. I thought it might help you to have more of a physical understanding of the crime scene.
I don't know why what's the point is an option, because that feels very naive of what is my first name? Esther to say. And also, where is the board? She specifically just told us where the board was. So these two top questions are kind of stupid to include as options at this point, because it's kind of making the player have like a couple of dumb questions to pick from, and then like one you actually need to do to get the additional information. Or it just makes the character that you're playing as seem like an idiot. And I think that's insulting to the character that they're trying to build if they're also trying to make her seem like an idiot with 2 out of 3 options here.
I need some additional files.
Something specific?
All of it.
One of the suspects mentioned something interesting about Mr. Feldman. Could you check if there was anything strange happening with his subordinates? Threats, blackmail, anything?
Of course. I'll start looking. Anything else?
According to the suspects, the shooting was ordered by the deceased Mr. Schwarz. But I saw no copy of such an order in the original case's files.
That's weird. I'll look into it right away. Anything else?
I need information on the equipment used by the local group. Weapons, mainly. As bureaucratic as the NSDAP was, they must have kept some sort of record.
Of course. I'll start looking. Anything else?
Nope, that's
I
it.
think that will be it for now.
I hope it can help you with the preparations for Mr. Peters.
Mr.
I'm
Peters,
sure it will. Thank you, Paula.
I appreciate you. Again, you need a raise. Alright. Now, I think what we have to do is interact with this. Build your theory. In the blueprint, you reconstruct and compare the events of your witnesses' testimonies, building the theory you'll present at one point in court. Course of the crime. The crime is divided into 5 steps. Each step is connected with the question that you answer by editing the blueprint. Edit the theory. You can move the figures around to display their locations and assign them actions. Select a character and give him the action to answer the first question. Okay, so the first question being, who ordered the execution? We know by 3 different documents that the person who ordered the execution was District Leader Schwartz. So he gives the order. Wrong button. There we go. Done. For your training with Mr. Peters, answering only step 1 is enough. Of course, you can proceed to build the rest of the first statement. And essentially, what the rest of the first statement means is where everybody was standing when the order was given. So what we have to do is just scooch Mr. Schwartz out in the hallway, as well as Mr. Fartman. And it nicely displays this, the statements on the side, and the only statement we have right now is Mr. Kibitz. And I have taken a peek at the second one, and we can't do anything about the second one yet, since we only have the statement from Kibitz that is in direct, not really direct violation, direct, it says the exact opposite, essentially, of another transcript that we have. So for now, this is the only thing that we can do.
My theory is made. I have my files. I think I'm ready for the meeting with Peters.
Mr. Peters. Alright. And I'm not going to call the number back. I don't need to. Talking to my father didn't do anything at all to the investigation. I mean, obviously, it did a little something to the story. You understand how much of a Dad is misogynistic too, and we'll leave it at that. So, Mr. Peters, here we come.
Honorable Miss Cutts, would you be ready then?
I think so. How are we going to do that?
I will act as defense and court, and you will do your part.
I already know what my part is, but I'm gonna ask him again. Did you read the files?
But have you studied the case well enough to actually help me here?
Yes, I did. Some people have to take their work seriously, you know. Anyway, you present your prosecution, support your conclusions with evidence, and win the case. And I'm trying to stop you from doing just that. Should be a piece of cake.
I like
For one
cake.
of us, at least.
Wonderful. Okay, so this is just saying that to start this mock trial, we just have to push Y in this case.
His execution was ordered by Herbert Schwartz, the district leader for the city of Munich. As the highest-ranking person involved, he bears the main responsibility for Mr. Norman's death. Mr. Schwartz is unfortunately deceased, and as such cannot be tried. This does not, however, absolve his subordinates of their culpability.
Objection. According to the witness statement, it was Mr. Schickert who gave the order. Can you support your claims with meaningful evidence?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. If you would take a look at this.
Of course. Oh, I see. Okay, so the difference here from the story is the story mode gives us the first piece of paper that supports our theory. I'm seeing here that we have to then dig around and find these pieces of paper ourselves, which I have already done. But let's see, we have to do this in. Does this prove your claims? Of course it does, because I've already gone through and highlighted all the answers.
This document clearly states that it was Mr. Schwarz who gave the order.
Not bad cuts, but not great either. If that's all the prosecution can come up with, the case is as good as lost. Knowing the right answers is often not enough to win your case. You also need to form the right conclusions. Conclusions the court is willing to follow, because they are plausible, and because you can back them up with evidence. A valid conclusion is always based on several clues. The one clue we are very certain is true is that Schwarz gave the command. So your conclusion should be based on that. Open your case file and give it a go.
Okay. Connect your clues. Now, for each question, you have a single crafting slot. So we have to have 3. Should I look into the district hierarchy? Yep, so we have 3 documents we can include, which I have. Find the first clue. Who ordered the execution? The former prosecutor mentioned it is in his discontinuation report. Add it as your first clue. Select a paragraph. Now select the corresponding paragraph, in this case, one where it clearly states who ordered the execution. Okay. This one. Yes. Add 2 more clues. Okay. I think, let's see here. This one. Yes. And one more. It is the district leader gave the order for the execution. That's right. He's the district leader. That should be it.
This makes sense.
Haha! Success! Let's see, there are no discrepancies on who ordered the execution. District leader Herbert Schwarz gave the command to shoot Mr. Naumann. Job done. Great. A successful combination adds a conclusion to your case file. Fantastic. So, whoop-de-doo, we did it.
I think I got it.
Shoot.
We have several consistent statements that Schwarz gave the order to shoot. There are no discrepancies in the testimonies. It says so in the files, and Mr. Schwarz stated it himself in 1947. Therefore, I conclude the order to shoot Hans Naumann came from District Leader Herbert Schwarz.
Herbert.
Congratulations. Well done, Cuts. If you argued just as coherently in court, this might go better than I expected. However, it was not particularly difficult, and it will probably not be that easy again. Still, well done.
Thank you, Peters.
Enough practice. Your case is waiting. Keep up the good work.
What now?
Thanks.
You should ask Paula to invite the next witness. There is still a lot we don't know.
Next stop, Paula. Peters?
Cuts?
Peters. Sweet. Okay. And in that case, we should be nearing the end of the demo, even for this section. Yep, as soon as I talk to her, it should, like, say, you've reached the end.
Miss Katz, how can I help you?
I need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out to?
I still think we should ask Snickers.
Please invite Mr. Schickert next.
We'll reach out immediately. Oh, and there was a letter for you. I left it on your desk.
Wunderbar. Okay. Da 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 da. Oh, no. And there's the mean letter again that we read at the very beginning. Ring, ring, ring.
This is Esther Katz. Hello?
Whatever Kiebitz told you, don't believe it. It's all a lie.
Yep. And that should be...
Back then, everyone was an ardent Nazi. Now they all claim to have resisted, doubted, hesitated, to have said no. Trouble is, somebody must have said yes. But who tells the truth?
Trouble is, somebody must have said yes, but who tells the truth? Goodness gracious. Okay, well, I guess then it seems like the only clear difference is that story mode kind of gives you some additional helping hints along the way, whereas investigator mode does not, and it also requires you to pick the exact section of the paperwork that specifically supports the question that you're trying to, I guess, argue, which I think is actually pretty cool. It was, I enjoyed both. I do wish that there was a little bit more to play, but I do understand why that there isn't. I don't know how long that the demo is going to stay available, and or if they will eventually add a little bit more of the Mr. Nauman case to the demo, because I mean, I definitely want to play more. I really want to know what else the other people that were involved, Snickers and Mr. Fartman, what all they have to say about the events of the execution. I'm very interested to find out about that. But this is all we have. And according to the developer, I did see another tweet today, and they have officially added in Spanish to their language repertoire along with French. But I think if they raise $5,000 more or something to that effect to their Kickstarter, they will also be adding additional cold case files and some more story, a background story for the main character Esther. And so please, 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 please support the Kickstarter, because having more case files to play through would be absolutely amazing. So let's get them ready to do that, so we have all kinds of fun stuff to play once they officially go live with their game. But that's all I have for you today. I'm sorry that there wasn't more. I could have sworn there was going to be more, but I was mistaken. But anyway, thank you, anybody and everybody who joined me today. But until then, I will see you in the next stream. Please have a great rest of your week. And that's all I have for you today. So, bye-bye, everybody.